Stop. Before you watch another second, I need you to answer this honestly. Are you an employee? Because I'm about to show you 5 TikToks that completely destroyed everything I thought about building wealth. In the first one, it's literally just numbers. But these numbers are the reason you're not rich yet. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover why billionaires are intentionally drowning in debt, why your car is keeping you poor, and why having a job might be the worst financial decision you've ever made. But here's the thing. I've watched hundreds of finance TikToks to find these 5. These aren't your typical save money on coffee type videos. These are the conversations millionaires are having when they think nobody's listening. Let's start with the one that made me question my entire career.
Let me tell you something that will change your life forever if you let it sink in. The richest people in the world are 75% entrepreneurs, 15% investors, 7% inherited wealth, 3% actors and sportsmen, 0% employees.
Wait. 0%? Let me make sure you caught that right. 0% of the world's richest people are employees. Not 1%, not 0.5%, 0%. I need a second to process this because, look, I've spent my entire life being told to get a good job, work hard, climb the ladder. My parents told me that. School told me that. Everyone told me that. But that guy just revealed that literally 0% of the richest people on earth follow that advice. 75% entrepreneurs. Think about that. 3 out of 4 billionaires got there by starting something, not by working for someone else, but by building their own thing. And before you say, well, 7% inherited it, even that means their parents or grandparents were probably in that 75% of entrepreneurs. The money started with someone who built something. You know what this really means? If you're watching this from an office right now or on your lunch break, working for someone else, you've already eliminated your chance at serious wealth. But hold on, because if you think that's mind-blowing, this next guy's about to explain something that sounds completely illegal, but it's not. The billionaire is about to admit something on camera that most rich people never say out loud, and it has to do with debt. And of course, it's Kiyosaki.
I am a billionaire in debt. You know why? Because I get tax breaks for borrowing money. And the reason I am so rich is because I'm in debt.
Billionaires are billionaires because they have smart ideas. So they have stock worth billions. If they sell that stock, it results in taxes. So what they're gonna do instead is they're not gonna sell it. They're gonna take a loan instead. Because it's a loan, it results in no taxes. Now they could take that loan money that doesn't trigger taxes to buy better appreciated assets like businesses, land, and other investments. Think smart like a billionaire and you'll have results like a billionaire.
I need to replay that in my head. I'm a billionaire in debt. The reason I'm rich is because I'm in debt. This is exactly what they don't teach you in school. Actually, they teach you the opposite. Debt is bad, pay off your loans, be debt free. Meanwhile, billionaires are using debt as a wealth strategy. But I'm not talking about bad debts. Here's what just clicked for me. When you sell stocks, you pay taxes, sometimes up to 25% immediately gone. But when you borrow against those stocks, 0 taxes, 0. So let me break this down in simple terms. Let's say you have $1 million in stocks. You need money. Option 1, sell the stocks, pay $400,000 in taxes, you get $600,000. Option 2, borrow $600,000 against your stocks, pay 0 in taxes, and your stocks keep growing. But here's the part that's making my brain hurt in the best way. They use that borrow money to buy more assets that grow. So they're using untaxed money to make more money. It's like a money printer that's completely legal. You know what? Your parents were wrong. My parents were wrong. Being debt-free isn't necessarily the goal. Being smart about debt is the goal. And of course, that strategy is meant for a very small population of people. Speaking of things that your parents were wrong about, the next one is about cars. And I guarantee 90% of you watching have already made this mistake. I made it too, but after you see this, you'll never look at the car payment the same way again.
Rich people do not buy cars. This is my staff car park, and I guarantee 90% of these cars are bought because that's what normal people do. They come along, they buy cars. Millionaires don't. Millionaires lease cars. They know that cars are a depreciating asset. They go down in value. So what rich people do is they spend their money on assets that go up in value, that give them the income. From the income, they use it to lease a car, and they don't make a loss. I know it's different to everything you've ever been told, and that's why I'm giving away these millionaire rich people's secrets, because millionaires won't tell you, but I will. I became a millionaire 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was a normal person, and I became a millionaire because of this stuff that I know that I'm telling you. So make sure you follow along because I'm giving away more. So say this with me: lease liabilities, own assets. That's what the rich do. They lease a liability, which is a car, and they own assets which go up in value.
Lease liabilities, own assets. I'm writing that down, okay, because a true story. 3 years ago, I bought a car. Cash. I was so proud. Look at me, no car payment. But you know what that car is worth now? 60% of what I paid. She just exposed the middle class trap perfectly. We buy things that go down in value, and we rent things that go up in value. We have it completely backwards. And for the record, I'm not against having no car payment, but the principle here is important. Think about it. Most people buy cars and rent houses. Millionaires lease cars and buy houses. One goes down, one goes up. We're literally doing the opposite of what creates wealth. And notice how she said her staff car park? Her employees are buying all the cars while she's leasing. The employees are losing money every single day the car sits in the parking lot, while she's using her money to buy things that go up in value. You know what's crazy? A car loses 20% of the value the second you drive it off the lot. 20% gone. But we celebrate buying new cars like it's an achievement. Man, this is starting to paint a picture. Don't be an employee. Use debt strategically. Lease your liabilities. But this next one connects all the dots. Because making money isn't just about what you buy or how you structure it. This billionaire is about to reveal the 4 exact paths to billionaire status. And I guarantee you've never thought about money like this.
Billionaires know this and you don't. It costs you $1 billion a year not to know how to make $1 billion a year. And the 4 easiest ways to become a billionaire are: figure out how to multiply money without anyone else's effort, figure out how to capture and multiply attention without any incremental cost to you, figure out how to return time to the masses, which is usually technology, and then finally, learn how to influence others so that they can behave and act in alignment with what you want.
It costs you $1 billion a year not to know how to make $1 billion. Can we just sit with that for a second? Every year you don't know this, you're losing billions of dollars of potential. That's the real cost of ignorance, like I always talk about. But these 4 ways, this is like the blueprint. Let me make sure I got this. 1, multiply money without anybody's effort. That's investing, that's systems, that's money working while you sleep. 2, capture and multiply attention without any incremental cost. That's why everyone's trying to be an influencer. You make 1 video, 1 million people see it. Your cost doesn't change. 3, return time to the masses. That's technology. Uber saves you time for driving. Amazon saves you time from shopping. Every app that saves time makes someone rich. 4, influence others to act in alignment with what you want. That's sales, that's leadership, that's literally every CEO. You realize what that means? Every billionaire fits into one of these 4 categories. Bezos, he returned time to the masses. Musk, he influences others and multiplies money. Zuckerberg, he captured attention without any incremental cost. There's no 5th way. There's no secret option. It is these 4. But knowing the path and walking the path are 2 different things. This last TikTok, this is where it gets personal, because this millionaire is about to reveal something that most millionaires never talk about. And it has nothing to do with money strategy. It's way deeper. Something that actually determines whether you'll do this or you'll just watch videos about this.
How can somebody become a millionaire in 2024?
3 things about money. And trust me, you will make a ton of money. I make a lot of money. Number 1, the people in the business of money make money. Don't ever forget that. Anytime wealth is transferred from one hand to the other, somebody is in the middle that is helping to transfer the wealth. Whoever that person is also becomes wealthy. Number 2, you need to own a business. I don't care what anybody says, because there are 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you're sleeping, 8 hours you're working, how much hours you have left. It doesn't matter how hard working you are, you're never going to make $1 million just doing a job. The third thing, it is harder to go from $0 to $100,000. I just want you to know that. Than to go from 100 to $1 million. The moment you make your 6 figures, you can have to multiply yourself and your efforts, because you alone can't do it.
You got to learn how to delegate pretty much.
You have to learn how to delegate, and that will blow your income.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I did. If I'm to do it again, I won't go to college. You go to school, they teach you all this stuff, but they're all theories and books. You go on the street, it means nothing. The guy on the street will run circles around you and eat your lunch.
What's the deepest life quote that you've ever heard? Give them one last deep quote to really stick with them.
This one stays with me forever and ever and ever. Work like it's up to you and pray like it's up to God. That's my best quote ever.
How important has faith and that belief in God been for you throughout your career?
Without faith, you're dead in the water. Not even faith in the religious sense, but faith in the perspective of capitalism. There's no business that ever succeeds without faith. Even when everybody look at you and laugh at you, let them laugh. You had the last laugh.
Thomas, that was phenomenal.
I hope this was very helpful to you guys.
Yeah.
Let's take a picture.
Work like it's up to you, pray like it's up to God. That hit different, didn't it? But let's back up, because he dropped some bombs throughout that whole entire thing. First, the people in the business of money make money. Every transaction, someone's taking a cut. Be the person taking the cut, not paying it. That's what we teach in Budgetdog Academy. Second, and this confirms our first TikTok, you need to own a business. He literally said you can't make $1 million from a job. 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours working. What are you gonna do with the remaining 8 hours that makes you a millionaire? Nothing. The math doesn't work. But here's what really got me. It's harder to get from 0 to 100,000 than 100,000 to 1 million. That means if you're watching this and you're at $50,000 or 70,000, you're actually closer to the million than you think. You've already done the hard part, the delegation part. That's where I see people fail. They try to do everything themselves, but you can't scale yourself. You can only scale systems and people. And then, would you go to college again? No. This millionaire just said college was worthless for making money. The street smarts beat the book smarts every time. And I tend to agree. But the ending about faith, without faith, you're dead in the water. Not just religious faith, but faith in the system, faith in yourself, faith in what you're building, even though everybody's gonna be laughing at you. You know what all of these 5 TikToks have in common? They all say the exact opposite of what we were taught growing up. So here's where we are. You just learned that employees have a 0% chance of wealth. You learned that debt makes billionaires richer. You learned that buying cars is keeping you poor. You learned the only 4 ways to become a billionaire. And you learned that faith and delegation mean more than education. Look, here's the truth. 99% of you watching this will go exactly back to what you were doing. You'll keep buying instead of leasing. Not that that's a bad idea for middle-class America. Working instead of owning, and saving instead of leveraging. But for the 1% who actually get it, your life just changed. The question is, which group are you in? Are you gonna be in that 75% of entrepreneurs that build real wealth? Or are you gonna keep the employee mindset that builds 0% of real wealth builders? Drop a money emoji below if you're ready to start thinking like a billionaire. And share this with someone that needs to hear it. Because remember, it costs you $1 billion per year not to know this. And now you know. I'll see you in the next one.